or even, you know, I would be very happy, perhaps even with a Naga Siren. It's not perfect, but there's a lot I feel like I would have liked before I picked Luna.
It is. I mean, it looks like. So we did like that. Why was able to get like a lot of vision, and we, you know, I feel like again this is just a big thing right now. Supports that get vision is a massive advantage.
Yeah, definitely.
So there are definitely some upsides to it. Says. Here we go. Quincy Crew versus Fnatic. Quincy Crew bottom of the groups right now, but they've already had the toughest teams to play against. Fnatic, they played against some of the tougher teams as well. In fact, they won one against Vici Gaming, which is part of the reason that they have that slight lead over Quincy Crew. And I believe tied up with SG Esports. So both of these teams really need a win here. Fnatic to be able to secure themselves out of elimination. Quincy Crew to be able to get out of that bottom slot. And a 1-1 would kind of keep everybody on edge. Ward for Ward, and is going to be spotted by Fnatic.
I will say that they go for the Doom mid, so a bit of a wrinkle. This somewhat guarantees a real farm Doom because obviously Void Spirit, you're not going to crush this lane by any stretch of the imagination. And they keep the Kunkka top, which does make a little sense. It's a higher armor hero, and it's also just significantly stronger, I think, in that lane. So want to do what they can to deal with Raven.
Lose together, win together, slay together.
Quincy Crew got to make a decision of what runes are going to contest here. All right, there we go. Move to left-hand side. LOA is still going to try and contest the one in the triangle here, but if he's not careful, Fnatic will catch him in the process. And he makes 3, gets out. Everyone gets their bounty rune. Nobody does any stealing. And off they go, running back to the lanes now.
This will be a very curious bottom lane, I think. Clockwork against Tideweaver with a Luna not... You know, when I think about the way like Tundra played this Luna lane, which I think, and I think even though they're not here at TI, they did it the best. It was with an Abaddon, you know, a Pangolier, this really strong, durable hero that could, you know, gain survivability through the spell usage. Clock doesn't really have that, and I just don't think they're as effective of a trader.
What do you think about this, by the way? The off-lane Leslau Kunkka, which he's played a couple times, and then they put the Doom mid. I feel like this is actually really good.
Yeah, I dig it, because this also means that Kunkka, you're just going armlet, and you're also a stronger laner. Mid lane, Doom just trades.
Yeah. Like,
this is kind of the dream, in a way, because Void Spirit, yeah, he'll probably win the lane slightly, but Doom is going to get way more out of it.
And Wraith King is also a low armor hero, right? So if you combine the potential minus armor, we'll see if MSS goes for the little shredder route that we've been seeing lately. And Kunkka is constantly hitting you with Tidebringer hits. They can actually pressure Raven quite a bit.
Yeah, they already have. Like, I really like this. Because Doom is just a terrible laner. It's one of the reasons I like Wraith King against it, because you just aren't threatened ever in this early laning phase. You can go as greedy as you want. The lane I'm really worried about for Quincy Crew is its bottom lane. Both carries, I think, are going to have some problems.
Yeah, it certainly seems like it. Both of them have already been under assault of a number of enemy hits. Hotkey problem for Quinn.
Heroes like TA are fun.
He turns around, quickly dooms up the Void Spirit, who's jumped in, committed, and will manage to get the kill right as Quinn dies. So he gets to be part of the experience, but a big ultimate being used, and they're going to have to give up MSS as well. No, maybe not. Stick charges again, just enough to keep people alive.
I'm really surprised he didn't try to TP out there.
Who, Quinn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, not Quinn. Sorry, the Snapfire. Because now he's just incredibly low.
He wants to stay around, at least for his experience range, you know? Maybe get a bottle charge, yeah.
2. Look at that.
Wow, that's a generous core. Giving those 2 free charges. They're going to jump on the Sapphire, quickly killing him. 2 charges are not enough, it seems.
Got the ward, though. Hit it with the ward.
Bottom lane, got to get UR out. He will. They'll TP away, but they'll easily be able to run down the clock. We're good rotation from jabs.
But if you check up top, you know, it's the same deal for poor Raven, who just does not want to play Dota anymore against Hungo, who's actually closing in on an armor. I believe it's actually flying out on Courier. No. He's finishing phase boots first, just the helm for the sustain.
Top tower is under attack.
I can dig it.
Let's see here. So, a lot of ancient stacking done so far. Oh no, just the 2 stacks. Okay, I thought that MSS had some more time to do that.
Anything on Fnatic's side? No.
Yeah. Well, there's a casual hood on the Tidehunter, so there's just no way that Yawar sits bottom any longer. That's just an untenable lane at this point.
Yeah. So both safe lanes being kind of abandoned. There are maybe some support interactions here. Winter Wyvern always likes to be able to play back here. And that, I remember this. Last time Clockwork, Winter Wyvern were really big in play, Clockwork's Rocket is really good at being able to make sure Winter Wyvern can't play that space. And you can see DJ knows that, so he doesn't play exactly behind the tower, just in the area to the left.
Yep. It's always fun to watch these players do those little adaptations as more knowledge comes into the meta. Doom soon active for Quinn, so he's trying to play a little aggro here. Maybe find Raven before he skills the ultimate. As I love this from Japs. Maybe one of the reasons.
Yes!
There you go. Why is Weaver a first pick and always played as a 4? Well, maybe that's why, because these carries want to rotate out of lane, and Weaver just follows them. Very annoying.
DJ is not giving this up so easily, still hanging around. The tower does fall. Bottom lane, something similar, but LOA does not have the same kind of mobility that a Winter Wyvern does. He will die for this. Quincy Crew is a tower ahead, though. This bottom tower is pretty healthy. That is time. Quincy Crew could do something. They could try and pressure mid. They could try and defend bottom. I doubt they want to because Tidehunter Ravage is up, but maybe they just want to spend time farming.
Yeah. I think both teams, you know, probably focusing more on limiting mistakes this game. This series, really, you know, both up against the ropes in a sense. Never good to look at the standings and see yourself tied for the bottom.
Yeah, you don't have that same kind of leeway as the other teams to be able to play that carefree Dota. You're going to be thinking constantly about, oh god, I don't want to be going out 17th, 18th, not even have a chance of being able to get into the good money, where all you have to do is win one best of one.
I mean, it's just what I think 16th, 600.
Got to be able to lock down 2 here inside of the cogs is Quinn, getting the Doom onto Death. Now, he should be able to run him down. I don't think there's anything stopping this. Death will eventually burn out, and they still manage to get the kill onto the Weaver. He died to the bugs. There goes Death. He also falls. Nice catch by LOA, captain of Quincy Crew.
It's unfortunate their Death. Hood of Defiance is not dispellable, and he did not get it off before the Doom came out. Otherwise, he lives. Yes, the Doom is pure damage, but the fire that did most of the work is not. Quite unfortunate for Death, as now Quincy Crew suddenly in possession of all 3 top spots in the net worth, and their cores are very annoying to deal with. You know, Yawar's going to be safely farming jungle. Doom is just manufacturing gold thanks to the Midas and Max Devour. And Leslau, like, he's got 2k health with armor active.
Yeah. Quincy Crew maybe winning the lanes, something that they talked about in interviews, is something that they've had to get really good at. They've had to overly focus on being good at lanes just because Evil Geniuses is in their region.
Yep. Underestimated by many teams here. Again, their record may be poor, but they've played against some of the best teams in this group stage.
Meanwhile, Fnatic, I highly doubt that any teams were looking at them and not expecting much. I mean, Fnatic is the second best Southeast Asian team region that is just full of talent. And only got 1 team in, so you're expecting that second team that makes it through that brutal qualifier that had to go through was really going to show up. And we did see some really good stuff out of Fnatic, specifically in the fact that they won 1 feature gaming. They looked really nice there. Stun going out onto Leslau. He's just trying to slow down this push in the mid lane, but it's going to be given up. Quincy Crew giving away free real estate to Fnatic, and they're immediately going to go for a smoke play. Moving up and catching potentially Yawar. This would be a really nice move. Fnatic can get it. They see where the courier's going too as well. Yawar, he's run out of time. He's not going to be able to dodge this one. In comes the nukes. They've got the haste rune on Chuen to be able to keep up. So all Yawar can really do is turn and fight. The Eclipse is going to go down.
Here comes his team.
Only does so much damage. The team is coming in, but I don't think they're going to be here fast enough. They only need a little bit more. Simulate, he's outrunning it. The Weaver's going to be able to run him down ever so barely. Jumping back, the Void Spirit Chuen. Oh, the Doom comes out. That's going to be able to purge out the haste rune away from him. Jabs. Oh. He actually got it. Jabs. Oh, that was dirty, dirty, dirty. Well played. Gets the deny on Chuen, taking it away from Quinn, who's certainly looking forward to being able to get the kill on the enemy mid laner. No such luck.
That was so close. So MSS, I think if he had recognized, Jabs got the final finish on Yawar as the pig pole faded. Otherwise, he gets the wand off and likely lives. But he had a shot there to get a Q off before the auto attack. He could have scatter blasted Jabs in the face.
Jabs. All right. Maybe just a little bit too full of confidence after that sick deny play, and it's maybe going to get DJ killed as well. The cookie doesn't quite land, but Quinn sees him. Torrent spots him as well. And they get a secondary kill on top of that. 5-7 now to the favor of Quincy Crew, who are up 2,000 net worth.
But we haven't seen the big team fight ability, right? The Ravage, I think, has still never been used. And the thing for Fnatic that's a little concerning is they're playing against 3 cores that are scaling.
You got to be
fast.
careful. You said Kunkka's really nice against Tidehunter for this reason. You've got to disable that Tidehunter cannot deal with, and trying to cut creep waves behind tier 2s against the Kunkka, Kyle, I feel like that is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that I think that the C region has been criticized for when coming up against these international teams, we just saw in our last series with 23 Savage, they can be a little over-aggressive, somewhat ambitious with their positioning, and in that case, yeah, if you're farming in front of tower, maybe that's okay. Your Wraith can come help you out. But to your point, you're behind the tier 2. Behind the tier 2, there's no hope for survival.
Yeah.
And you can't afford to give away these kills. We haven't seen a Ravage yet, and Quinn's going to have a BKB. He's a recipe away.
Yeah, he was supposed to be, I think part of the reason he was farming so aggressively is he was closing in on that Blink Dagger, really wanted to finish it up in this next minute or two, and then he can go play with his team. They can try and take a big team fight. But now that's been stalled out, and as you said, maybe stalled out to a point that Quinn can get his BKB before that initiating item is up. Chuen does have an Aghanim Scepter coming in, so they are going to reach a pretty nice timing at about 2-3 minutes.
Yep, they're going to go Deso on the Wraith King as well. So yeah, they're playing for this mid game. And you know that they understand the state of the game. They got to be strong in the mid game and not just play this really slow game against Doom Luna. So Blink on the Tide, you'll have an Aghanims on the Void Spirit, and suddenly you have this massive burst potential, and Wraith King going for maximum DPS. It's not bad. I dig it. And Jabs, he's got Vessel.
Do you think this this draft that we're seeing here from Quincy Crew, do you think any of this is kind of picked up from the other Southeast Asian team, T1?
Yeah.
Right? Like the prominence of the Doom and just how they're itemizing and just playing pretty, like, the way they're playing right now kind of reminds me of T1, where they know they've got this really sick timing where they feel good about their late game because they've got Doom, who naturally scales up, and they're going to feel good about offlane Kunkka as well, and they're going straight for BKBs to ensure early team fight.
Yeah, I think it's the dream. Like, you look at Fnatic, their whole lineup is countered by BKB. Sure, Wraith King's going to hit hard, but you're going to have plenty of damage on the side of Quincy as well. And they also have the benefit of the Ghost Ship buff, right? 40% damage delayed.
Yeah.
Very nice against big team fight abilities. And BKB, it's ready, as is Doom.
Fnatic really got to make something happen right now. The Doom BKB is ready to go. They can still out-execute, like even just getting a good Blink Ravage and catching Quinn off guards would be nice, but LOA in a good position to be able to break a smoke. Doesn't know it just yet. Jabs, he's going to be revealed. The boat actually going out early. They did know this was happening. They got the vision out. They're going to be able to get a really nice Winner's Curse from DJ to be able to bail out Jabs, potentially get him out with a Ravage on top. BKB is ready to go for Quinn. They're going to be able to fight this out still. UR comes in. They're throwing out the magic damage onto Death. The Hood of Defiance is keeping him alive pretty long time, but eventually he will fall. But now Raven is here, able to push out the damage. The BKB timing of the Doom. He went that full 9 seconds just to be able to kill a Tidehunter, Kyle. That's all they got out of that. And then the other BKB of Yawar doesn't do a damn thing.
Yeah, that was a really nice fight there. Excellent curse from DJ. Just delays the inevitable. Sure, you lose your Tide, but that just gives the Void Spirit more and more time. Suddenly he's got Step Up again. He had 2 pulses. He had enough time to chill and get another leap forward pulse into Simulate combo. We're going to watch this one more time. The boat utilized, it's just to save the slot, and they just ignore him. They know that that's not really the target. Instead, boom, the curse catches all 3. Jabs then survives. Boom, Ravage on top. And all of a sudden, you're feeling yourself. Bottom lane, holy crap, that's a lot of damage to tier 2.
Yeah, Chuen just got caught in the mid lane through a combination of just a bunch of little stuns that he was not expecting. Quincy Crew just sandwiched him with 4 heroes all of a sudden. And Quincy Crew, they're playing fast. They're like, okay, at first BKB charges didn't go so well, but now we got to pick off the Void Spirit. Let's go take something here.
There's no Ravage, and they have 3 BKBs. It is go time.
Yeah. They don't find a team fight just yet, but they're going to start taking away an objective. Let's see how Fnatic responds here. Not just going to let this go for free, even without the Ravage. They're going to try and go on LOA here. Gold Brace saves a lot of time. The magic damage is going to be raining in. Really good Winner's Curse. Again, Quinn is in trouble. He's going to be so low after this, and he just gets one shot by Raven after the Winter's Curse. BKB from UR, they turn around and kill Jabs. Nicely played by LOA, but Leslau, he now has his BKB. They're going to turn around and finish off Raven. That's life number 1, but UR is going to try and get away to the avenue. Disables. Oh, the Torrent almost saved him, but just in time, Jabs, because of his buyback, added just a little bit of damage to kill UR. Otherwise, he would have gotten away.
DJ Dota. All you got to know about these team fights. Again, Quinn, not the ideal BKB usage. He got it off right at the end there, but as you said, just killed by the Wraith King. Now they'll almost certainly lose to tier 2 in the bottom lane, which also means outpost. But yeah, Quincy Crew, they got to utilize the clock. What did he do in that game we saw PSG LGD play it? He found the Wyvern. He killed the Wyvern. It's the opposite this time. DJ starts the fight by opening on him, and then gets the Dream Curse. This is why it's a little dangerous to play in Luna.
This is kind of crazy because I think we were setting up, like, strategically, they were supposed to hit this really big, nice timing on the side of Quincy Crew. And that's got to feel so bad when you go triple BKB and you lose your first 2 team fights.
And they're just not executing, Cap.
No.
Who cares about where this positioning is? I don't care if you're diving a tier 2 tower. You're killing a Tide with no Ravage who is asking you to do this because he's just got maxed out Kraken, Shell, and a Hood of Defiance. And he's getting healed by the Wyvern. So this is the dream for Death. He accepts his death and wins the team fight. You've got to kill the Wyvern. You've got to find the Void Spirit. You got to get the Doom off on one of those 2 big boards.
Not quite as slow now.
Refresher straight up for Death. So, again, you get the right Winner's Curse for DJ. He's going to follow that up with a Ravage to make sure they're chain stun, and he could potentially double it later on. Fnatic, they're still down 2,000 net worth, but a big part of that, just the Doom effect, right? Mid-Doom is always going to be had. It's like Alchemist Light. So Fnatic, in reality, probably feeling pretty good about this game. 66% to their favor. Chuen doesn't actually get the Dissimulate. Oh, he was on cooldown. Fortunately, he did have some steps. And there was no hook shot or anything. In fact, speaking of hook shot, he's going to turn around. Raven's going to jump inside of that hook shot. Quinn this time around is going to be trying to find that Winter Wyvern. Does manage to get into the Cold Embrace. Both the Wraith King and the Tidehunter die inside of the cogs. LOA eventually does get burnt out, but they do get him. Quinn, meanwhile, killed the Winter Wyvern. Mass buybacks coming in from Fnatic, and they're going to be able to focus down this Doom, who no longer has his BKB. The rest of Quincy Crew call it quits with so many buybacks being used, but at the same time, Chuen, he's not calling it quits on this chase. He managed to catch up to Leslau, pull him back in with the Aether Remnant, and yes, there is the final stun that's needed to ensure they surround him. Raven getting the double kill, and with the damage they have from Desolator, they could probably do Roshan.
Yep, that is a really nice usage of buyback there. And once again, I really question Quincy Crew. They play that fight about as well as you could expect, but they're dooming the tide. Yes, he solo kills the Wyvern, but they're going to lose that fight just thanks to the buybacks. And I think it's a really heads-up play by this Fnatic lineup. Like, as long as these big spells, specifically the BKBs, really are utilized, you're going to win the fight every time. Wraith King has the built-in Aegis, and he's not threatened. Yeah, he went down there, but he just comes right back up. You're not going to kill him twice.
Jab's doing a good job of making sure LOA isn't doing any sneaky hookshot Aegis steals. So Fnatic securing that. They already had 66% win rate. Yeah, I was going to say, with an Aegis in their hands, it's going to be just climbing further and further in their favor. Does this, do you feel like Fnatic have better late game? I thought Doom, like, for me, I always feel like, oh, Doom, it's like so good that he could just keep on scaling, but
it's tough. I mean, you're going up against a Wraith King, so that changes the dynamic a bit. I really feel like the team fight of Fnatic is just too strong. Clock, to me, is a terrible hero in general in a game like this, where all these heroes are just outputting incredible damage. Your real contribution is just vision. Like a good rocket. That's your hero, is a ward. Whereas you look at Fnatic, Void Spirit, the best level 25 talent in the game. 2 seconds simulate stun. It also pierces BKB, if I'm not mistaken, even though it doesn't say that.
Well, I don't think that's true. Are you sure?
Somebody told me it did. They might have lied. We'll probably find out. This game's going to drag on for some time.
You think so? I think Fnatic's just going to end it here. Very, very soon, though. If Raven jumps a little bit too far forward, maybe it was... he's going to be chill. He's okay. Quinn's not okay. They're going to blow Ravage for him to make sure that he's not going anywhere. Fnatic, they just seem to have all the answers for Quincy Crew right now, and once they have an AC, I feel like Raven's just going to demolish all the buildings.
Yep. Like they understand their win condition, and the Wyvern, I think, the X factor. Like, I just can't believe we're picking Luna into Wyvern in 2021, but you're just having some serious issues, because even if you get that Dream Initiation, if all 3 BKBs aren't popped, one good burst stops them in their tracks. And yeah, I love the build from Raven with the Blink Dagger on top, just maximizing his damage output.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Solar Crest on Snapfire, they're going to do what they can to help you deal damage. But like, Wraith King really isn't even a great matchup for you either. This is just a tough Luna game. Weaver jabs finishing a Linken's. That's incredibly quick. I expect, you always get 2. One on support, one on a core, and it will be Juen who picks up his own Linken's. So there goes the Doom factor. What, are you going to Doom Wraith King? Nope.
Yep.
Lose together, win together, slay together, slay together, slay together.
Does need a helping hand from MSS to make sure he's good.
I feel like you might need to change creeps. Ice Ogre seems very effective in a game like this.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Even. Just a Wolf represents Vendor after your Luna.
Radiant's top tower is
Look at these wards. Just 3 great wards as Fnatic just play enemy triangle.
Yeah, they're going to do the march down, take tier 1, take tier 2, the typical double tower push in the off lane that we see all the time. Quinn is really far out here, and I don't see a reason why he's just forced to use his BKB, because I don't think they're defending this. I just don't see a way they can do that.
This is a big issue. I just think about the 5 positions, and you see TJ with nearly a full 4 level advantage on the enemy Clockwork. And I just think about how much more game impact he's had and will have as this game continues.
Yeah.
That to me, and it's not LOA's fault, he's played a great game, but It's just the way these kits.
Yeah, Cold Embrace by itself is almost better than your entire Heroes Clockwork as the game goes later on, and then that's not even discussing how good Winter's Curse is. Fnatic are going to push for this high ground. They've got the AC, they got the double minus armor, and they're going to go for the kill on a Leslau. They actually blow everything they have to be able to catch this Kunkka, and he may still survive. In fact, now he's going to be able to get the boat out as well. This Wraith King very far forward. If they can prevent him from being able to get back. First death underneath the tier 3. LOA doesn't have another round of cogs. He's going to be silenced and probably killed here. The cookie doesn't make it there in time, but if they can get the kill on a Chwen, 25 seconds pulled back into the torrent, not timed well enough. Chwen is able to get an astral step away. 20 seconds, he'll be able to regen up to full off the Aegis.
I don't even know if that's like how calculated it is by Fnatic. They're just like, hey, let's go. And they put Quincy in a position where suddenly they got to respond, and they make a bunch of mistakes. You know, the boat whiffs. I think if they hard committed there, they would have just 100-0'd the Kunkka, because Quincy simply weren't ready. Nice job by LOA to save his core Kunkka. But, I mean, they have a ward in base that Quincy have just ignored. Like, you just can't have that happen.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of Dota 101. You de-ward the corners in between your towers to ensure the enemy team with an Aegis doesn't have that ability to jump you within your base. As Fnatic now cross back over the Rubicon.
Oh, Quinn.
He needs a Linken's break now, though, Cap.
Yep. He does indeed. He can blink stomp, and then somebody else, the Lucent Beam perhaps from the Luna, can come in, but it does require, he's no longer able to do it by himself. Unless he changes his creep. Still gunning for this. The hookshot's going to miss. Goes for the Centaur Stomp. That's a bit late as Chwen already managed to astral step away. Goes to the side. No hookshot available, so he is free and clear.
It's a lot invested. The game, gold-wise, even, but as you said, Alchemist Light and the Doom will always have net worth, but how will he utilize is the question. Shivas is necessary just for the visions. They can find the Stam Wyvern. They are closing in on an AC of their own. So I think if you're Quincy, delay. Get your completed Satanic. Okay, there it is. Get your Shivas, get your AC, then maybe look to make something happen. But yeah, we need a Linken's break or a better Aura creep for Quinn, I think, before you go to the next engagement. And a tied Linken's as well. They now have 3.
And they're going to have Aghanim Scepter eventually on the Weaver. Like, if they get to that point where Jabs has an Aghanim Scepter with a Linken's and is just able to play the side, wait for Quincy Crew to initiate, I don't see how Quincy Crew wins those engagements. I think you're right. I think Fnatic, because of all their team fight, have a pretty significant advantage as this game continues to go late.
And it just makes Quinn's net worth seem just worthless in a sense, because what is the Doom really going to do for you? You can't get it off on anybody.
LOA, hook shot, and a point blank as Raven jumped him, in fact. The boat, again, going to be a little off the mark. The double Linken's blocking the Doom. They thought they were going to be able to eat through it. Death is going to die. The Winter's Curse goes out, holding the Kunkka in, but Yuard already popped his BKB, so doesn't do that much. It just allows a Raven to be able to get away. Jabs, they're going to be able to hit the Centaur Stomp. Do they have any follow-up? They don't need it, actually. Just enough damage and disable to get that kill as well. Even though the Doom got blocked, Quincy Crew do win this one.
I mean, I can hear Jack watching this on his phone just talking about Mojo being balling, because that was legit just him. Snapfire Ultimate does some damn good damage. Quinn used Doom, but mostly ineffective, and you can see the talents of the Luna coming in clutch there. He went all in for the Lucent Beam, so suddenly these deal some significant damage, 400 per, and that just straight up Shrek'd through that Tide Hunter. The Hood, not enough survivability. The downside of the Linken's Blink is, of course, yeah, you'll absorb the Doom, but he's just not tanky or durable like you would expect.
Right. This is, I feel like Yawar is building for, like, the 7 slots.
Yeah.
You know, I like, this isn't the dataless shard build that we've seen before. This is a different kind of build, much more sustained focus. But he is eventually still going to go that, right? He's going to go Butterfly, then back for the dataless, then maybe Scotty into shard or something like that.
Butterfly just really nice because you see the Wraith King going for his BKB. so you can have that little bit of an edge before the MKB is complete. There is the BKB coming out. And I actually, you know, I look at the net worth and I'm starting to wonder if Fnatic maybe over-invested in Linken's now that I take a second look at it. Because, like, I always like 2. 3 might be excessive. That's a lot of gold spent to deal with Doom, but consider the net worth charts. You know, Leslau, he's got an AC BKB. Yawar is farmed. You're missing out on some critical auras and offensive tools now, right?
Yeah. Well, which one would you say needed to change their
Tide
item?
Hunters.
Tide? Okay.
Either Tide or Void Spirit.
But he was going to go for a Refresher, and the Refresher isn't useful if he's getting doomed every fight anyway.
True.
So is there a different item besides Refresher instead of Linken's?
Maybe just a Halberd even. Like just a Vlad's perhaps? No clue.
What about what about no Linken's on jabs, and he goes for a faster Aghanim Scepter?
That could be really nice too. I actually might look at Chuen just because I think he scales a lot better with like the Octarine he has queued up, or maybe Sanj Kaya. I just love Void Spirit with Sanj Kaya, especially because you're getting the Spell Amp now on both Astrals, on both Pulses, and then late game very effective with the Dissimulate, of course. Also, he went for the Spell Amp talent, so makes that Sanj Kaya even better if you would have gone that route. But Mojo with the Shard also, that's something to look for. That point-blank stun, very effective. There's the Shivas. Now they need to control vision. You gotta find DJ, that's the key. A Rocket or a Quinn. Butterfly complete. On to Yawar. Roche is up the Shard.
They see the heroes coming, but BKB just in time before the blast can land. Leslau walks away, a BKB down.
With flair. A golden thread.
Mojo spotted. Ward in the river. Again, one of those, like, just those off wards, not the normal wards. You place it somewhere weirder to make sure it doesn't get dewarded, but still gives you the vision that you wanted. It does get read by Quincy Crew, though.
Smoke picked up. They're thinking about making a move. Who's got buyback? Okay, Void Spirit does. Tide Hunter does not. Wraith King will have his available. And only Leslau, and now Quinn, on this Radiant side.
Does manage to get the Centaur Stomp, but again, with the Centaur Stomp, no Linken's break. Quinn may have to pop his BKB. He's being slowed down so much, but he waited too long. Again, a second time where he pops BKB and the physical damage overwhelms
What is
him.
that, Cap? What are we doing here?
I don't know.
You can't doom him if you can't break Linken's. And then we don't BKB, we just kind of walk away. Fnatic, you know, credit to them, a couple of mistakes, but they are making plays. They are playing to win this game, and Quincy Crew are going to have to shape up if they want a shot, because Fnatic are going for the throat here. Into the pit, no BKB doom.
At this point, Quincy Crew, they need a very successful smoke, otherwise they may have just bought back for absolutely nothing and may still give up the Roshan if they don't continue playing around this area. Sure, they do have the Rocket that's constantly scouting, but the Wraith King does it pretty fast. Leading things off, Raven breaking the smoke here. They're going to spot the Luna and try and poke at him, see if they can force out the BKB. Nothing just yet.
Roche is very low.
Boom, there it goes.
Nice positioning from Fnatic, playing back to their vision. They have 2 wards in the area. That's where they want to take this fight. They're pinging out the one that they know that, yep, there it is. Beautiful from Japs. Control the vision in the pit.
Small hit onto Raven. If they could somehow take away that reincarnation for free, it'd be very nice, but the Cold Embrace is going to heal him up quite a lot. MSS sees that the mid lane has a double siege wagon pushing in, so while this stall is happening, he can just kind of pop the mid creep wave, and they can start getting some mid tier 2 damage for free.
Dire's middle tower is under
Fnatic are going to start jumping forward here. Clockwork does get popped. Ghost Scepter doesn't save him, only increases the magic damage. No buyback there. Quincy Crew now left in a 4 versus 5. Fnatic patiently holding. They also see there's a big push coming out in the bottom lane. So they too can just sit here. Raven's going to push out top. Leslau, okay, they do have X marks his spot, so he can deal with bottom lane and come back. Mid tier 2 does end up falling. Top tier 2, same deal. These teams seem to mirror each other very nicely in their ideas. Raven now inside of the pit, seeing if they can quickly get this Roshan. They know they have to jump here. Quinn, he's going to pop his BKB a little bit early here, as the Roshan is not ready to fall just yet. The kisses start coming in. The Ravage are going to go down. They're going to make sure the Doom dies, and he has no buyback. Age is picked up by Chuen. They are going to be able to get a nice double stun here, and you are all in committed. He's going to try and finish off some heroes here. Chuen, though, the cookie, a little awkward, and the curse just in time. GJ waited it out pretty nicely. Honestly, Kyle, this feels like Quincy crew has some major jitters. I don't know what these initiations are, but Fnatic, I mean, they're just taking what Quincy crew's offering and being like, okay, we're responding standard team fight stuff.
They're playing Dota, and it feels like Quincy's just panic. Jav's even spamming the voice lines. Like, I feel the vibes from this squad. Just the execution, brutal by Chuen to start that fight. So it's 5-on-4, and then they kind of just giggle. I keep seeing Lincoln's popped, but I don't see Doom getting used.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
So
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
yeah, not much to say really. Just outclassed by Fnatic.
Certainly. Fnatic, easily 2 lanes of barracks. That's going to be Megas and possibly tier 4s. If they just want to keep it going, they probably can't just end the game. Catching LOAs, he tries to sneak back to the fountain. No rest for you, sir. He does have a buyback. Quincy crew may just be having a long talk at this point in time about what happened, what went wrong in this game, because it really was, a lot of it was just execution, Kyle. A lot, again, triple BKBs, you lose 2 team fights with them.
Yeah.
That's just not what happens, Storm.
It feels like, in a way, Quincy crew are... It feels like they have the same problems as EG. They hit a timing, but they just don't do a goddamn thing with it, Cap. Like, you just go. You just hit stuff. You went and DJ.
What happened?
Cursed the clockwork, then blinked away.
I didn't even realize he did it because he was so far away.
A wyvern's
Like,
breath.
you need to set up, you need to make the move. And it just didn't feel like that occurred in this game. Whereas Fnatic, you know, Raven doesn't have a death. Man has played near flawlessly.
Yep.
And they are just brawling, taking it to him.
My path leads to riches.
Filipino carry seeking his own sort of redemption after an extended period with TNC and with Cuckoo specifically. Watching his former captain achieve a bit more success in the leading Southeast Asian squad in T1. Raven trying to prove that he is still the best carry in Southeast Asia, no matter what any of the naysayers may say.
We have an easy comparison. You just watched 23 Savage play. And I gotta say, Raven leading in terms of how they perform here on day 2. But of course, game not over. Only a 10k gold lead and they have Megas. That just goes to show how farmed this Doom is and how relatively ineffective it feels.
You ever think these carry players, these star players of sorts, you ever feel like they feel like child actors or something? Oh, fast initiation, a quick kill. UR's dead, 90 seconds. Fnatic taking 0 chances with this game. Even with Megas, they make a nice smoke execution, bringing down the enemy carry and ensuring that they can now end the game in peace. Catching Quinn as well. No BKB there, and they are going to take some damage here, but nobody's really going to die. Nice curse. Snapfire right in the middle between the two. And that'll set everything up from Fnatic. Get a kill or 2 before ending the game. 14-27, Fnatic crushed it the last 20 minutes.